Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D. Welcome to tonight's show. Willie, you want to say hi?
What up, though, folks? Thanks for joining. Looking forward to a good show tonight, as usual.
Yes. Today is February 1st. Happy Black History Month, people. Hope you guys are looking at some, or hopefully if you weren't throughout the year, gaining some more knowledge about people that made an impact in Black history. So definitely for that, make sure you're doing that and celebrating Black history the right way and not getting caught up in a bunch of bullshit.
Right.
You know how it happens.
Definitely take time to learn history, to find something new that's out there. I meant to have that clip ready so we could play it, but basically, it was just telling us we gotta find things that make us great as Black people, as here in America and all over the world, what we've done for this world to make it a better place. So, look for that and do your research. Don't just, rely on everybody else to tell you. But we will be telling you anyway this next few days and over the course of the month. We'll be posting things and talking about Black history and some of our favorite moments in history and some favorite people as well.
Yes, definitely. Y'all know y'all been following the website as well as my own personal website. We do the Faces of Our History, where we share different people that affected or was pioneers within the Black community, and we share them on the thing. We're actually working on one today to go up tomorrow, so definitely check out the website, gstradioshow.com, and look for those. And you can also look for past Faces of Our History to see if you know some of the names that we highlighted throughout the month. Like what he said, we share fun facts, we share different quotes, things. And if you guys find somebody that you want us to write about, definitely hit us up on any of our social media outlets, and we'll definitely work on one and post it up throughout the month. So definitely do that. Or just share it with us. And if you're on Twitter, you can find out some information with somebody. Tweet us and tell us, about this person that you learned about. We want to hear about that too, because maybe we don't know about that person. So definitely
right.
Share. Also, go to our website, teespring.com/stores/GST Radio. Copy off some merchandise. All proceeds go to the podcast. If you know anything about podcasting, stuff costs, and, we pay for that. So to kind of help us out and support us, that's definitely a blessing, and we appreciate those who do support us. So definitely do that.
For sure. Get that merchandise. That's for sure.
Yes, definitely get that. As Willie said, my brain just walked out real quick. It just left. I was about to say something that I already said, so I'm not going to do that. But also, right? It happens today. If you're listening right now, you're on blogtalkradio.com/GST radio show. If you guys want to join in the conversation tonight, call in 657-383-1155 and hit us up on Twitter at GST_radio. If you hear something we're talking about, you want to chime in and you're on Twitter, hit us there using the hashtag GST Radio. That way we can get your comment in and share our thoughts on that.
Yep. We're tweeting live on Manning the Board, so, hit us up.
Yes. He's manning Twitter. I got y'all on the line to call in. I'm listening. Also, before we continue, I want to shout out Langston Hughes. Happy birthday. He was definitely an important person within Black history, if you guys know, which most of you should. He was a poet, a novelist, and a playwright, and a short story writer, and a columnist best known for his works during the Harlem Renaissance. So I'm pretty sure we all learned about him at some point in our lives during Black History Month in school, so you should know exactly who I'm talking about. So
Yes.
Just want to get that
great.
out there. Yeah, it's a great
thing. Yeah.
I love a lot of his poems. Really nice poems.
Yeah, definitely.
But you want to get into how your week was, Willie? You want to jump right into the topic?
Talk about my week. It's not a lot went on this week, but as some people know, I'm an avid traveler, so I've been looking forward to a little more traveling this week. So I've been prepping for a little trip to Washington, D.C., once again to, take in the culture, take in history, as most of you know, or hopefully most of you know, the Smithsonian opened up a African American museum in the National Mall last year, and or near the National Mall. It's not quite in the mall, but it's pretty close, and it's an amazing display of African American history, the impact African Americans have had on this country and in this world. The displays range from everything from pre-slavery, during the slave trade, as well as the 1800s, 1900s, and current history that's being made today. I mean, there's an amazing display of sports stars, of political figures, of social figures, and things that have impacted American life and American culture that Black people have contributed to. So I'm going to take my kids to take in some culture and learn their history and have a great time while doing it.
Yeah, I definitely need to get there this year. I really want to go because I want to take my daughter and possibly my niece. I don't know if my son is at this point for him old enough or at the point where he could actually comprehend what we're doing. I don't want to go and chase him through everywhere, but I definitely want to take the girls and possibly my nephew to go see, or perhaps like a little family trip so we all can go, because I think that will be an amazing thing to kind of take the day and go and, visit this museum and get to, let the kids ask questions or, learn something they didn't learn in school. So I definitely recommend to taking the kids. I definitely trying to do that at least this year. If I can get there once this year, that would be great. Maybe I'll try more into the summer to kind of when the kids are out of school. Maybe I could get
I went.
Go ahead.
I went last year, and when it's around the time it first opened up, the company I currently work for did a huge contribution to the museum. So they encouraged us to go and check out the museum and everything, which was I thought that was a great thing. So they had flew a lot of us out there for a conference, as well as gave us time to go to the museum, go check it out. It was challenging getting in, because the museum is very popular. The attendance, I think, is reaching to the tens of thousands per month that visit, and they kind of have they no longer have a lottery, which is great. You no longer have to be lucky enough to go. It's just a matter of first come first serve, right? And they have a ticketing system online where you can get your tickets. So anyway, I was able to do a walk up pass, so you walk up, stand in line for either a few minutes and up to 2 hours, wait on a ticket to get in. People are out there waiting, because it's worth the wait. And so I was luckily only in line for about 10 minutes and got my ticket, went right in, checked it out. I think I had 3 hours or maybe 4 hours before the exhibits closed, and I still didn't finish it because it's so huge, so much
to
take in. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff that you just don't know and don't realize that's happened in the past, and things that have gone on. Even stuff here in Michigan, and we have an African American museum, a very prestigious and large institution here. But even they had even stuff that they didn't have here that I learned, or at least I hadn't seen before. So it was amazing, just taking it all in and seeing what they had, all the stuff that they had put on display and had been donated.
Yeah, that's definitely dope. I know a couple people, like I said, a couple people I know went, and when they describe it, I just can't wait. Like, I can't wait to go. Like, and I love museums. I remember in high school we went to the Smithsonian. That trip was amazing. I like to go to stuff like that. And even when I went down to North Carolina, I went to the Discovery Museum where you learn different. I just love learning new stuff and taking the kids there to see their reaction is always amazing, especially something that's so important to Black people. That's something that they definitely need to go see. So
right. Mm-hmm.
I can't wait.
Yeah, same here. So
that's how your week was for a little bit?
Yep. That's besides working, hanging with the kids, doing our thing, what we normally do, and like I said, getting ready for this trip. We leave early in the morning to head out and do this road. We're doing a road trip, so we usually fly everywhere.
Fun.
Yeah.
But this,
thank you, appreciate it. And pray for good weather, because in DC we do a lot of walking and the metro, hitting the metro. So definitely pray for good weather down there.
Yeah, that's what my coworker took her sister came from Turkey, and she took her down to DC. She said it was pouring down raining that day. It was horrible weather. She said we were so excited to go, and the weather was rain. Yeah, so I can imagine. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So my week was interesting. I think today I can't wait for this week to be over. Let's just say that it's been I may get pulled into the principal's office, quote unquote, tomorrow to explain my actions. But I think you know what I learned today, and I grow. I've struggled with anger issues all through childhood, and it takes a lot to get me to a certain place. And understanding that today someone had took me to a place I hadn't been in years, and I was at work, and I was able to pull myself out of it, and I had people that actually gave a crap about me to pull myself out of it, and I had to walk away and cool off and come back and just have my peace, because people take you places, and you just have to realize that you can't act out and you can't do things you did when you were young. But I did react not in the way that I wanted to, but it could have been worse. But I guess I gotta wait and see what happens when I get to work tomorrow. Hopefully not too much trouble. I mean, between a little bit younger.
Right.
And, yeah, I mean, I did get a little bit. My boys with couple different obstacles, and there were some curse words going around, but hands were up. And I had to
whatever you do, don't touch the boss out during Black History Month. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
And you know what's crazy? Like I told you, yes, and I was telling you, I was writing up the Faces of Our History post, but I was trying to post it today, and it just ruined my Black History Month. I was so excited about Black History Month today. I was getting some quotes together that I wanted to share. Like I was getting my mind and just empowering Black folk and everything, and then that happened, and I was so ashamed for myself that I had let someone take me to that place. But I was actually proud of myself, because it had to been me a few years ago. It would have been somebody's face that got outlined immediately, and I probably left out there with the state police. So I need y'all to pray for me.
Right.
That I just get a little slap on the wrist, and people leave me alone at work. But other than that, my week was cool. I went broke buying stuff for the house. You know how you go food shopping and go house shopping and then you broke. And you got to wait because payday is not this week but next week, so you got to figure out, make sure you can make it, but you got food in your house, so you good, Being a responsible adult, but that's, my week's been good outside of that. So I'm hoping that tomorrow I'll finish off making Black History proud and, Black History Month.
For sure.
Not acting like a crazy person,
Right.
I think
don't act like the angry Black woman y'all were talking about last week.
Exactly. I think that this month all Black people should just try not to get in trouble. Like right, we talk to not get in trouble anytime, but just chill. Like let's
be chill so we can put on a good face for the people.
Yeah, so we can That's it.
Showing black excellence every day during Black History Month.
Absolutely. That's what we're trying to do, yeah. And we can do it like do as I say, not as I do. Get it together.
You're right, there you go. Exactly. Like I'm still a work in progress. The study's still a work in progress. Let it be great.
Yes. I'm trying boy. Woo, Jesus. I swear. And you know how somebody make you so mad that you don't even know what you did, and somebody got to tell you,
Oh, the blackout? You're talking about the blackout.
And I haven't done that in years. And my coworker's like, yeah, when you do that, I'm like, I did what? She's like, yeah. That's what I knew to get in the middle and scoop you out. Like, it was like, you know how you at a club and you start with somebody, the bouncer just come real quick and get everybody out.
Right,
It was
Sorry,
like
yanking people out the way. Exactly, yeah.
And then everybody texts me like, you good? What happened? I'm like, nah, I can't talk because if I get talk, I'm going to stand out again. Like, no. I just need to get away from the workplace and get my life together because I don't want to go to jail. I got kids to raise. I got too much to lose and I don't have time for that.
Right.
That's what you have to you have to grow the hell up. So I growed up, guys. I growed up. But we're going to get right into this topic. Y'all know we doing trending today. We did our last trending topic for 2017. I'll be kicking off the one for 2018. We got so much to talk about. I actually want to go to the high school shooting because it's been like I was watching the State of the Union, and I was telling Willie, like, it's been 11, well, now 12, because this recent one today in L.A. It's not a high school, it's a middle school, though. But it's been, within the past week, it's been 12 school shootings. Like, in a week. Like, I need y'all to understand, like, in a week. A week, of course, like, I can't even go to, like, 7 days. It's like, what, 5 days? It might be 7.
Oh, wow, it's been 5. I'm about to say it's been 5? Oh, man.
Well, because the first one was the beginning of the week, right? Yeah. It was the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
And, okay, so now it was a school shooting today. About 11.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the last shooting, the girl was 12 years old. She went to middle school. A couple kids got injured, but they're going to recover, thankfully. But they were talking about how these kids are getting access to guns and stuff. And one of the guys on NBC during at the State of the Union, because he was saying how he didn't understand why didn't the President Trump, or Commander Trudeau, that's what they like to call him, didn't talking about the school shootings. He didn't talk about them and gun control. And he said, I'm all for people carrying guns and having the right to own guns, but what the hell is going on? It's been 11 at that point. School shootings in a week. Like, what the hell is happening? Somebody needs to talk about the gun laws, because this is getting insane. So that's what I want to talk about, because these kids, and I talked about that at work. We were talking with coworkers, and I was just saying how you send your kids to school, thinking that everything's fine, they're going to get a nice education, they're going to, come, they're safe. And things like this are happening frequently now, more frequent than not. And that's a scary situation to know that you said, and they said one of the officers at one of the shootings, I believe the one in Texas, the one of the state troopers came to the school for the shooting, and a little girl that's friends with his daughter, they were dressed alike, and they same age and everything. They were saying this girl was killed, was dead, and he's in panic because he's going there as a responder, but it's his daughter's school, and the description that they're giving sounds like his child. So he is trying to do his job, but at the same time is unsure or has to prepare yourself that it might be your child that's killed. That was one of them that was killed. You understand how crazy that is?
That's got to be a parent's worst nightmare. I mean, it just completely takes you out of your zone, out of your mind, because you're so worried. You don't know, what's going on, why it's happening, and don't let it be a situation where you don't have the ability to get in contact with your kid. I can't remember what I was looking at. And they were talking about that. It was a parent was able to or wasn't able to contact their kid because one, he was shot, but he had I guess his phone was in his book bag, and he just ran out the room and left his book bag. He got shot in the arm and ended up at the hospital, but he couldn't, answer his phone until somebody brought or grabbed his bag and brought it to him. So it was, his mom is going crazy. She's not sure what's going on. And, to make it even worse, the kid was developmentally disabled, so she's really worried because she doesn't know how it's affecting him, what's going on with his situation, and who he's with. So there was so much that was going through her mind. But I know I've never, thank God I've never been in that exact situation. But I've been in a situation where not knowing what's going on and not being able to get in contact with somebody and feeling like you feel lost, and you feel in that panic, and it's tough, but it's unfortunately it's becoming too much of a fact of life. I was just looking at a study that said there's been over 300 shootings since 2013 in schools, and there's something we don't hear about all the time. I just looked at the list, and there's a couple here in Michigan that happened in the last week and a half. I didn't even know. Right around a couple of cities over in Dearborn and another one in Olivet. So we don't even be hearing about a lot of these. But anyways, that sheer number. I mean, 300. You're talking. That's in the last since 2013 since their study started, and so you're talking that's a shooting every week, on average. So it's crazy, like you said, that kids have access to these guns, have access to these weapons, as well as what's going through these children's mind, or even people who go up into schools and aren't even have nothing to do with the school, like in that one situation in I can't think of the name of the city now, but I know what I'm talking about. Situations like that where people go into these schools and decide to kill other children or kill children, and like what snaps or what happens, and what are the warning signs?
No, but see, here's the thing. Most of the schools have anti-bullying things. A lot of these things are kids being bullied, and they're just don't know what to do. So this is in their mind. This is what they're going to do. Shoot up the whole school and be done with it because they feel outcast or bullied and things like that, and the teachers aren't doing their job as far as identifying the bullying and rectifying it and things like that. But here's the problem. We need to figure out how. The way things have been changed so far as with bullying, they make that very important. But then again, you got stuff that slipped through the cracks. I remember one year my daughter was being bullied in school, and she ended up getting jumped in a gym class, and nobody called me. And then she calls me on the way home, telling me that these girls are trying to follow her. They know that she walked home or to the bus stop rather, and they were going to try to follow her and keep attacking her on the way trying to go home, right? So of course I go to school and I flip out because as a parent, what's happening in the school that my daughter gets attacked in the classroom and none of you people call me? Like, what are you doing? And then they have these meetings where they talk to the kid that's being bullied, and they bring the other kids in, and then they decide whether or not the parents need to be brought in and things like that. And then they're trying to do be harsher on bullies. But when we grew up, we were bullied. I was bullied all the time, and I know some kids suffer from depression and things like that. So we need to have people in the school that identify these kids, or if they're either being bullied or the bulliers. And if, you see a kid withdraw because of being bullied, something needs to happen. It shouldn't just happen when the act is happening or the issue is happening at that point. It should be addressed, because if you see a kid that's normally upbeat and, whatever, socializing, and then they keep getting bullied and they withdraw, you need to have someone in that school that can, because sometimes it's that the kid wants to go and talk to somebody, where you have professionals that should be knowing these signs that something may be going on, and then sit and talk to these kids and get to the root of the problem. Because then you have, okay, so I'm just being bullied, like the Columbine incident, when a guy was being bullied and he was tired of being bullied and he went and did what he did. Not everyone in that school was messing with him, but that's how he felt that's the only way he's going to rectify what was going on. That's what he chose to do. Like so many other kids in these school shootings. So the problem becomes, how do we stop the problem? How do we identify the problem before it gets worse? And how do we attack it across the board? So that way it's less. I'm mad. Or then you got to, even with that, you got kids that got home problems that come into the school and shoot in school too. So you need to kind of figure out, if a kid's coming into school quiet all the time or, withdrawn and stuff, you might want to sit that child down and talk to them and see what's going on and how can you fix it. At least that's my thought.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I agree. There's got to be more conversations had. There's got to be more in-depth look into what's going on versus just saying that, don't do this and then thinking everything's going to be okay, or saying that, just because a school has a no bullying policy, that's all you need to do. And policies are great. Having these low tolerance or no tolerance processes, it can be helpful in a way, but are you really just masking the true problem, or I won't say masking, I'll say more like ignoring the true problem. You know what I mean? Because if all you're focused on is saying, okay, well, we have this policy and now everything should be fine, you're fooling yourself, because these kids are still getting bullied, they're still hurting, they're still having issues, and people have to be involved and to ensure that things are getting looked into deeper. Like you said, be it therapy, be it just exploring, what the true issues are. A lot of these kids. I was looking at a story about a kid who had commit. Oh yeah, I think the one that Clint was telling us about late last year, where the kid had committed suicide, and it was, bottom line, it was she was being bullied by girls in her school, and no one was, checking on the situation when things were being reported. Right, so the parents report something, the school either does nothing or doesn't take it further, and then it just leads to more problems. Because either someone's afraid to say something, or they don't want to offend somebody, or whatever the case may be. It's time to offend people. It's time to say something. It's time to bring these parents and make these parents responsible for their children, or create consequences for the kids if their parents aren't taking responsibility. And I understand that schools should be a place of learning, and I understand that school should be, focused on academics, but unfortunately we're sending people to schools, right? And we're sending human beings with emotions, with psychologies and things of that nature, and so you have to have this balance, right? Because school should also be a safe place and should be a place where learning can happen and not have to worry about, am I going to die here today, or am I going to get beat up, or am I going to get accosted by another student because they can't control themselves.
Then you got cyberbullying. So you got the kids that are being bullied outside of school and things like that. But hold on, brother, we got a call, and I want to get them in real quick, okay?
Okay. Yep.
Caller, you're on the line.
Hello, it's Damon.
Hey, Dame. I knew that. I recognize that number.
What up?
Don't be calling me and stalking me now.
No.
Dang it. Okay.
So what do you think
Reverse
about
psychology
this,
doesn't work on you.
No.
Oh.
So what do you think about what we're talking about these school shootings?
It's way out of control and out of hand, and Willie Styles brought up some good points. It is reminding me of my childhood growing up. Some of these kids just need the outlets to let go of whatever they're going through. Guns are just out of control. They keep saying they need new gun laws. I don't think any other country but America has this issue on this mass scale. How are these kids getting these guns in their hands besides their parents? And who lets their kid go out alone in the middle of the in the streets, knowing how bad it is, knowing that all these shootings have been happening the last 7 to 10 years and getting worse? I mean, you're not monitoring your kids. It's bad enough you don't monitor their TV habits, their friends, their video games, any type of entertainment. But now you're just letting them go out on the street, let loose, and making pipe bombs. Not just guns either. Just you need to interact with your kids. You can't just be their best friend and just I hope everything turns out well. You need to actually monitor them and talk to them and educate them on consequences.
Yes, and also if you have weapons or guns in your house, you need to lock them up. That should be. I mean, I think it is a part of it. If you get a registered gun, you're supposed to lock them up and keep them out of harm's way, because if the kid shoots himself in the house, you can get in trouble for that. So I think that if you are a gun owner, you should not have your gun anywhere or any type of combination, or say the kids know how to get in it to take the gun out. Because that's another thing. A lot of these guns, if they're not getting them off the streets, they're getting them from their homes. Or somebody so-and-so has a weapon in the house, and they know they got this gun case that they can just go into, and the bullets aren't too far from it. So you have to be mindful of, if you have weapons like this in your house, you need to lock them up, put them where your kids just can't get to them, or if you do have a safe that's somewhere they can see the safe, that they can't open it. They don't know the combination. They don't know how to get in access to the weapon. Because I would say, as a parent, if I know I have weapons in my house and my kid is depressed or going through something and they're, getting bullied at school and they shoot up at school one day, I will feel horrible that they killed kids or anyone or harmed kids with the weapon that's in my house because I didn't safeguard it well enough. Like, that you have to feel some kind of way about that.
I mean, you
as a
think
parent not see the signs?
Think they would feel that way, and I mean, I'm sure there are parents who have been in this situation now, and it seems like it's so many now, that, I'm sure they feel horrible, but it's their responsibility, right? You have to be responsible. This is why, this is not the main reason why, but this is another reason why, I don't have weapons in my home and do things like that, besides, what I need to protect it, but, nothing like, I don't have machine guns and shotguns and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of people say, oh, you should do this, and it's like, I understand that people feel that way, but, when you have young kids, you never know what can happen. You never know what they're going to get into. And if you make the mistake of leaving a key out, the wrong key, because kids watch, they pay attention. And when you, the thing, and I always say it, the things that you don't want them to see is the things they see first, so as much as you think that your kids aren't looking or aren't paying attention or don't know this combination or whatever the case may be, they find out, they figure it out. Like in one of my homes, I used to have like a doors that had key codes, and sure enough, my grandson, he's staring and looking at how people's opening doors, figured out the code, because they pay attention. They're inquisitive, and they want they want to know what's behind locked doors. That's the thing about kids.
Yeah. And then on top of that, you gotta look at it like this. Like, my kids know my ATM card machine number. They know what's my code to get money out of my ATM. So what if your ATM number is the same passcode to get into your safe? You see what I'm saying? And they know that that's your go-to thing.
Right.
They know that. So you just have to be, with those types of things, you need to be a little bit more secure with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Kids are really intuitive and really smart if you give them time and opportunity. Like, my daughter is no taller than a thimble, and she sees, when she wants to do something, like with height disadvantage, she will grab my hand, take me to whatever she wants, and point. She doesn't want me to do it. She wants me to pick her up so she can do it. Like, open a door, close a door, get something off a top shelf. No, these kids learn really well. I'm not saying that for those who want guns shouldn't have it, or if they want to teach their kids proper gun safety. I've known people to do this, but not all kids are responsible enough. You have to be able to determine, do you know if your kid's going to be smart enough not to mishandle this big responsibility if you're going to train them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen girls on Facebook.
I've heard the debate that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I've seen girls on Facebook that knows how to handle a Magnum gun, know how to clean it, take it apart, put it back together. Like, and the boys use automatic weapons. It's like, this is amazing that they can do this, but are we potentially giving them bad ideas? Like, if they get angry one day, or is this just for self-defense? That's up to the parents and up to the child at a later date, but hopefully they keep those weapons out of the child's hand until a proper time to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I think there's that debate that if you teach your child proper gun safety as well as proper usage and handling of weapons, that they'll be more responsible with them. Which I kind of believe that's true, because when they don't have access to something, they're more apt to want to do something to get into it and do something wrong with it, right? Because they don't know what they're doing. But if you make things a little more, not I won't say accessible, like you said, then it's more of giving them the knowledge, right? You give them the knowledge, you give them the opportunity. It's not so appealing anymore. You know what I mean? They may take to it and feel like they can do the things that that their parents do with it. Like I saw that video with the little girl. I think the girl was like 11 or something or 10, and her brother was probably no more than a year older than her. And they were like master marksmen, and they had they knew how to tear a gun down, put it back together, all that kind of stuff. And a kid like that, I'm definitely a lot less worried is going to do something horrible with that gun than a kid who's angry because somebody was bullying them at school and they figure out the key code on their parents' gun safe and get in there and take a gun out and take it to school for quote-unquote self-defense because somebody was bullying them. So I think it's, there's that difference, right? And,
I would say depending on the kid, because I think that with some of these shootings, some of these kids knew how to use a gun. They didn't just pick it up and practice a little time. I think some knew what exactly to do and how to do it. You look at some of the shootings, particularly Columbine. The guy came in there and was ready to go.
Those kids they were fully
exactly
trained.
What
they
do
were
and how to use it. Yeah, so you have to be. I don't think if you're trained. I think it's right that if you do have a gun, you should educate your child on the proper use and things like that. Definitely. But I don't think whether you're trained to use a gun or you just picked up a gun one day. I think most of the kids that got weapons out of their parents' houses knew how to use a gun. It didn't just. It's not like a kid where you see where these kids, younger kids, probably toddlers, are going in their mom's drawer and it's a gun in there and they accidentally shoot and kill someone. Like these are kids that picked up a gun and knew exactly what they were planning on doing and did it. So, and they knew how to use a gun, because if you don't know how to use a gun, you're going to use something else.
Right.
So you at some point they knew how to use it.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about gun shootings, but, I mean, we just recently had, if I'm not mistaken, it was either November or October, we recently had a kid take a knife to school and try to attack some people, right? So like you said, if it's not the gun, it's going to be something else. It is, so it goes all the way back to the problem.
Yeah, then you get the girl that's from Baltimore. Was it Baltimore, Maryland? The girl got jumped in the bathroom and they ended up killing her.
Yeah, I mean, they stomped her to death. So,
that's crazy.
It is, and so it all goes back down to the psychology of it, right? You got to talk to your kids. You have to be responsible enough to tell your kids how to handle these situations on both sides of it, how not to bully, and then how to handle being bullied and walking away from it.
And don't be a follower, because even if you're not the person that's doing it, and aware that something's happening and you don't stop it, you can be charged too. Like a lot of those girls in that bathroom didn't physically put hands on her, but they went to jail too. Like
exactly.
Jail is real.
I've explained that to my kids that being in the mix of it and not saying something is part of the problem. You can't be a onlooker and just allowing things to happen because you think that you're not the one doing it, that you're okay. No, you have to say something. You don't have to say something to them. If you're afraid, go talk to somebody who's in charge or go talk to the police. Do something before things get out of hand.
Exactly. Definitely. And like I said, as parents, pay attention to your kids.
Yes.
Pay attention to them.
Please do.
Both whether they're being bullied or being bullied. And a lot of these parents that kids are bullied, you see where the kids get it from. And I would say to those parents, be better parents, because it's not cute. It's not funny to be called to school all the time because your child decides to be a bully to people, and then you come in there with an attitude, and then, God forbid, you're at a school where a kid feels that much upset that they go to the school and shoot and kill your kid, when you, as a parent, not that your child deserves to die or be shot or harmed, but you as a parent of a child that bullies, it's not funny. It's not something to laugh about or say, oh, this kid's just being kids. Kids are getting killed because of that. So you need to talk to your child and let them know
Right.
that bullying is not cool, because things like this can happen. Not that we're okay with it happening. We don't want it to happen. We wish it's not happening. But realistically speaking, it's happening. And the primary reason is because that child is bullying someone. And then other kids that have nothing to do with nothing are being involved. And it shouldn't even have to go to that. It has to escalate to that. As a parent, know your kids, understand that what they're doing is not right, and talk to them. And get them help. See why they're bullying. Figure it out. But prevent something worse happening. So it has to work both ways for parents.
Yeah, it does.
You know, you have to be a parent to your child. You have to understand the signs and try to address the problem or get your kids help. If your child is out of control and you don't know what to do, there's programs that's around in probably your area that can help them. So.
Yes, very true. Very true. Let's move on to the next topic. And before we do, just remind folks on the line or that's listening online, you can call in and give your opinion as well, 657-383-1155, or tweet us at GFT_radio. We're live tweeting right now. But let's go on a lighter note and switch over to the Grammys. Did y'all check out the Grammys? Did y'all check out the highlights of the videos out there?
Well, I don't watch it,
No.
but I definitely check the highlights.
I heard about some acceptance speeches and Bruno Mars taking everything but the carpet. I was watching wrestling. Sorry.
Right. He said everything but the carpet. Damn.
Well, Bruno Mars did win like everything he was nominated and then he won.
He won.
I think he took the leaf off the plants too.
Yeah. Right.
I think he left the plant and just took the dirt.
Right. He got, you said honorary puppet.
Yeah, because they were giving out honorary puppies. I guess he was giving James Corden was doing like a joke where if you didn't win, he was giving you or you got nominated, you got an honorary puppy.
Oh man, I'm sure.
I don't know if it went to everybody, but I know that was something that I did hear and see. I saw one person who did have a puppy, and he was like, it was just really weird.
That was the one thing I did wish I would have watched for, because I really like James Corden. He's a pretty funny guy. I enjoy his late night talk show and the carpool karaoke and all the little spin-offs of carpool karaoke. Even though there's a video out there with Mos Def where they did carpool karaoke first, but you know we're not gonna talk about that. But James Corden, he cool. We let him be great, and he's I heard he had a lot of good scenes during the award show, including
he had to read the book.
Yeah, to read the book, the Fire. I was just about to say that. Yeah, the Fire and Fury book. Yeah. And, I guess they had like Snoop Dogg, John Legend, DJ.
They had Cardi B.
Yeah, Cardi B.
They even had Hillary Clinton.
She was the one that won.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hillary Clinton ended up winning for the Fire and Fury book because he read about Trump and his fear of being poisoned and going to McDonald's.
Yeah, I was like, what?
That dude is.
Trump hates that book. He said it's fake news. Like,
and Trump hates that book because it's telling the truth on him. That's all he hates about it.
But you know what I did? I watched the Today Show because that's what I watch in the morning as my news show. And Carson Daly made a valid point. A lot of people, like, you know that song Despacito? Everybody loved that song.
Oh, Despacito, yeah.
Yeah, everybody loved that song. You heard it every way you could hear it. You heard it so annoyingly much on every freaking thing you listened to. It was always on. How did that not win anything? I don't understand.
I thought they did win something.
No, they didn't.
No?
I don't think he did, or they was asked to perform. And that song was like one of the top songs of 2017.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that's.
And that's what he was like. He said, I don't understand because everybody, and then because what's his name? Justin Bieber. Bieber made it to that song, and y'all still ain't like that. They ain't win a Grammy. I don't know how, or they didn't get the ask to perform that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. The song was nominated for a lot of stuff, But that's the crazy thing about the Grammys. You know what I mean? Because there's always that controversy of who's really picking these awards and who's making these selections for the awards. You know what I'm saying? So, the way that they even vote on the nominees, let alone the winners, is always up for debate and it's controversy and all that kind of thing. I mean, the whole what was his name? The guy that beat Macklemore. I mean, Macklemore beat out Kendrick Lamar a few years ago for the major award, and and a big blow up about that, and then it's just always.
Cause everybody loves Kendrick Lamar, even white folks love Kendrick Lamar.
Right, but and I think it always comes down to there's always going to be some controversy. There's always going to be some people who are going to be upset, who's not going to understand why this happened and it didn't happen. I mean, you got Despacito was up against 24K Magic for Record of the Year.
24K Magic was about to put that, yeah.
Yeah, and so
Bruno Mars' album is tough though.
Yeah, exactly. And so so you have to look at it like, okay, what really did they do there? When putting those two records together or up against each other, it's going to be hard to pick because, like you said, most of us are going to say we know we saw Despacito or heard Despacito everywhere. Everywhere. I mean,
she did have 24 Magic.
But exactly. It's 24 Karat Magic. You heard it everywhere too. It was on pop stations. It was on R&B stations. It was on top 40 stations. It was on rap stations.
It wasn't on the Latin stations.
No, it wasn't on the Latin stations. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And so. It's one of those hard calls. You know what I mean? I mean, one of my favorite artists, SZA, she was up for like 6 Grammys or something like that, and she did not win not one Grammy. I just knew she was going to take Best New Artist. I mean, I was like, it's obvious. She's been everywhere. She's been lauded and applauded and everything, and it went to Alicia Cara, and I love Alicia Cara too. I do. I love her to death. She had that song. Where she was doing, oh man, I'm listening to it in my head, but I can't think of the name of the song now. Somebody's going to kill me for this one. But Alicia Cara is the one that, her song sounds real depressing too. I can't even think of the freaking name of the song.
I'm about to look it up. Alicia what?
Yeah, but Alicia Cara, it's not just a standard way of spelling Alicia, but it's Alessia, and then last name is Cara. So she won for Best New Artist. She was, like I said, she was hot last year. I just don't think she was as hot as SZA, right? SZA
she sung that song "How Far I Go" from
Yep.
Oh, that's my girl. She sung my song off of Moana. That's okay. Oh, no, okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, she was on. Yeah, so she had a hot year. She did. I gave it to her. She had a hot year, and she's a great.
I like
singer.
her voice. That's a nice voice on that girl.
So but she was up against artists like SZA. She was up against Julia Michaels, Khalid, rather, and Lil Uzi Vert. But that, we're not going to talk about that. But like I said, there's always going to be those hard calls. You know what I mean? So we can't be too mad. We know these artists. They all work hard. They all do what they do. And they want to be recognized for it. I believe that, just being nominated should be, I won't say enough, but, that should be an honor in itself because you're up against the best of the best in your craft, right, and doing what you do. So, people recognize that. I mean, winning is the winners are going to be the ones that are most remembered, but, being in that class, knowing that you topped everyone else, because there's hundreds and thousands of songs of artists and everything else that are out there, and at some point, being recognized is the biggest honor, right? And then the Grammys being one of the biggest stages to be honored upon is, that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Dane.
I'm sorry, I heard nothing you just said.
Terrible.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to. I'm gonna put it on my nose and coughing. I didn't want to be rude, so I put the headset down for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, we were just talking about the Grammys and what was your take on?
Yeah. So the Grammys was also a big platform for political statements. And I know. I was trying to find this article. I saw the headline. I didn't get a chance to look at the article, and I'm kicking myself over that. But they were still kind of complaining about some of the out of touch things that are going on with a lot of the award show, and they brought the Grammys into it. But one thing I did appreciate was that the stars did use the platform, right? There was the White Roses for Time's Up. There was the speeches. Kendrick Lamar, his opening performance which included Dave Chappelle. They made their statement at the beginning of the show. I believe Keisha and her song "Praying," she performed. She did that with Cindy Lauper, Camila Cabello, BB Rexha, right? Yes, and that platform being able to not only affect the music industry but just regular people in general, because a lot of people watch that show. I don't know what their turnout was, but I know millions of people watch the Grammys, and then there's even more millions of people who look at the highlights and things of that nature. So the ability to impact and to touch people, that's huge. So it was good seeing that they made use of the platform and did what they needed to do to talk about Time's Up and talk about Me Too. So
yeah, that was definitely. I feel like a lot of these award shows, as of recently, everyone has been using it to speak their truth on whether it's social a number of social issues, and I think with the Kesha, that was the first time she performed because she's been in a battle with that same manager about her contract. So. The Grammys was the first time she had performed in a while, and she was one of the people that was talking about her issues related to the Me Too Act before the Me Too movement even started. She was going through stuff with her manager, and now she was talking about a lot of that stuff, so she wasn't able to move on with her career because she was dealing with so much of this thing. So I think when she performed, that's why it was so emotional to her, because at the height of this movement, and all the stuff that she had been through, she finally got released from all of that. And this is her first time to perform, and then to perform into that big of an audience. She really broke down after that. Like, she was crying, and the people that were with her were, like, standing with her, and, because she had been through that. She had been through it, and she was talking about it prior to it even becoming this movement, and she had been through, a lot. And, this is her, it's over now. Now I can move forward. So I know for her it was extremely emotional and things. And Kendrick Lamar always puts on these I want to kind of say political. When every time he performs, it's a statement, and that's why I think. And he's always asked to perform, and when he does, he's expressing himself to the fullest, expressing his viewpoint. And the fact that he had Dave Chappelle on it, I love that, because I think it's funny because I had watched the Dave Chappelle specials, several of his specials, and he talks about how he talks about the social issues, and he talks. And if you look at his audience, it's predominantly white. I watched the Kendrick Lamar shows. Some of them, it's a lot of white people in the audience, and they're hearing our issues, whether they sympathize or anything. I think to the extent that they do sympathize because they're paying to go see somebody express themselves regarding these social issues, and Dave does it through comedies, and Kendrick Lamar does it through his music. And I think that was a perfect fit with that, and plus with James Corden, because he expresses him like a lot of these comedians express themselves on social issues. A lot of them, even there, you see the tone of how everything has been changing with their comedy shows. They talk about what's going on in the world, and they share their opinions on it. A lot of them, they talk about, hey, this is wrong, and let's explain this, and this is why I think it's wrong. And these people that go to their shows are hearing their thoughts, and they have that. I think to some extent they agree because they're coming to see this person, and know what they're going to talk about. So I think, and I think that with these Grammys and these award shows, these people are expressing themselves about the very social things. And we talked about on past shows about celebrities using their platform to talk about social issues. They don't have to, but the fact that they're getting attention. It's whether
it's
you
important.
want,
They have to do it.
Yeah, and whether you want to hear it or not, they're going to speak their truth. And if people feel like these award shows are getting less than the music, like I don't know if you guys saw the tweet between the girl that was on the Trevor Noah show. What's her name? Kelly. I can't even think of that girl's name. She's a what is she? She's like a huge Trump
curly haired girl.
Tommy something.
Oh, Tommy Lord.
Yeah. She tweeted about how Jay-Z was should be focused more on the music and about his music than speaking on what Trump does and blah 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 blah. And it's like she using her platform to spew whatever she wants to spew. So I think it's right that you shouldn't tell people what to do. You pride yourself on First Amendment, and everybody else is allowed to speak their truth, whether you like it or not.
Right. True that. Yeah, and I think that's the crazy part is that they want to have their opinion, but then they want everybody else to shut up.
Yeah.
So, it's definitely hypocritical.
Yeah, our president does that. Every time somebody says something they don't agree with them, he goes he lashes out on them, and then he says everything is fake.
Right. Let's move on. Let's move on to Commander Cheeto and his very first State of the Union address, and what he of course did and said, and
I just want to say this.
There.
I just want to say this according to that. Thank you, Donald Trump. I'm putting up the air quotes for helping the black community with their unemployment rate for Black History Month. Even though you weren't the initiator, you just inherited it after Obama did it. But thank you for taking credit for for helping out the black people and helping us not be less employed. I don't like this. Man is fucking hilarious, is what he is.
Right.
Well, black slavery.
He took a.
Go ahead.
Well, black unemployment rate hasn't been this low since slavery. If you want to actually think about it. So, and Donald Trump, I'm not sure if he knows he lies. It's either lying or for the Republican Party, it's yesterday news. I mean, it's fact in yesterday's news when they tell it, but it's lying when the other party tells it.
No, but see, this is what I watched this clip this morning. Did you tag us in it? You tagged us in it, right? About how everything he was saying he was omitting key facts.
Yeah. Every 4 point.
Facts. Like he would say something that's part way truthful, but omit the key points to explain. Mm-hmm. Like this is what he was doing. He was saying these quote unquote, as we like to say, alternative facts. And he would say, okay, so like he did with the black unemployment. Black unemployment has never been this low in history. Blah blah blah. We got it down. First of all, yeah, it's down now, but it started out when Obama was in the administration. But since Obama can't do nothing right, you have to claim it for yourself. Like no, buddy, you inherited that. Like some of the comments about the Dreamers was like, what do you? Man, it's crazy.
Man, right.
What?
The single immigrant bringing in virtually unlimited number of distant relatives, and it's like, bro, that's so false. Like it's they have the ability to submit for their distant relatives to come in, but the waiting process for that, for one, is like 4 million people long, and then you don't just get random, anybody can just come in. They have to go through the same vetting process as everybody else. So you're talking, you might be able to get maybe one person in. You might be, you'll definitely be able to get in your spouse or your children, but getting in your cousin or your aunt and uncle, that's not happening. So, it's like he just makes stuff up just to make himself sound good. And then like you said, taking credit where other people have done the work, I mean, there was a couple of things he did do. He was talking about the whole war thing, and they were saying that some of the powers that be in the military said that he did give them a resurgence, but that right there, for one, is the product of a Republican government. When you have a Republican president and a Republican capital, they will do more for the military. So we can give them credit for that. But when it comes to, you know, these job creations that he claimed he made, and it comes to this him and his greatest ever tax cut, which actually wasn't. It was
him and his war on energy and how we provide energy to everybody.
Oh, right.
Clean coal.
And how we have clean coal.
Yeah,
he's
he
going in.
He likes to
I'm
make
just
it
like, this man is okay. Wherever you're going.
Can I ask you a question?
And I didn't like the fact that he was. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Why is it that Trump is so obsessed with Barack Obama? It's like everything Barack Obama has done, he's trying to undermine and undo. It seems like he's more obsessed with Barack Obama than a Kardashian with a black basketball player. I don't understand it.
That's because he don't believe that Obama should have been a legit president. He does not think that Obama should have been president because he wasn't born in the United States. Like, this is why he was making those questions about his birth certificate, and this is why even after the fact, when they said to him after he showed his birth certificate, you still didn't apologize or say you're nothing. You just still went along with that, and it's like he can't admit when he's wrong. He just does whatever he wants, and it's crazy. Like, even he's so petty and childish. Like, he act like a fucking teenager or a little kid that is not getting what they want. How petty and childish are you to make a statement like, oh, you know, this is why we stand for the flag and the anthem, and that's why we stand for, like, you sideways backhanded on the hella pettiness of people not standing for the flag because they how they feel about the social injustice that black people face, and they feel like this state is not united. So this is why they're doing this. You just can't have something where you could just not be a smart ass, or like you the president and you acting petty as fuck. Like, you petty as hell. Like, somebody piss you off, you go on a whole petty rant on Twitter. Like, this is what you do. Like, you can't even pretend to act presidential. Like, I think out of the history of me ever seeing Trump in act somewhat presidential was when we seen teleprompter Trump show up for the State of the Union and do the address. That's the first time I really seen him like not be a fucking child, but at the same time he still was petty.
Right, petty and being a liar, you know.
And a liar.
I don't understand how people still support him as much as he just out and out just fabricates everything that he says. And it's like you said, Damon, does he truly think he's getting away with the lies, or does he really believe the lies? And I kind of had to ask myself, I think he believes it. I think he's tricked himself into thinking that all these he's got, delusions of grandeur, basically, and he feels like, things that he does are greater than what everybody else is because he doesn't verify, right? I think he's looking at things from one perspective and says, hey, I'm doing all this great work, so I'm the best at what I'm doing, and doesn't think about what everybody else did and everything else has affected that over time. Go ahead, David.
Well, as far as your lying perception or Trump, for a guy to comb over his hair every day and look in the mirror and say, yes, it's real. Yeah, yes, he has to be a good liar to be able to fool himself to say, yes, it's real.
I've ever seen.
Yes. Right. We're the best way to right.
He comb over because he don't want you to see the part, like, how them girls with them lace fronts maybe looking horrible. Y'all know
right.
They be like a sumo wrestler. They about to go do some stuff with their half slicked down baby hairs. He just combed his shit over. I don't even know.
Exactly.
So what's worse, the Republican Party enabling a grown man-child that's 70-some-odd years old, or the grown man-child who wants to be enabled and be treated like a baby and be spoiled?
It's everybody. Here's the thing. I think the Republican Party this is their standpoint. They didn't really want this dude. They got him. Whatever. They got stuck with him, so they dealing with him. They gonna ride that shit to the wheels fall off. I don't think they agree with everything that he says, but at the end of the day, he's a Republican, so whatever he say, that's what they're gonna go with. Like they like the like I don't know if y'all watch Love and Hip Hop, but they like how Mariah Lynn and Bree are. Not Bree, what's her name? Bianca. They just Bianca's just this hysterical person that's always trying to fight people and acting crazy. And Mariah don't got nothing to do with nothing, but because her friend pop off, she gonna pop off too. That's the Republican Party. Donald Trump is Bianca acting like she done lost her mind trying to fight everybody because she like the people saying. And Mariah Lynn is the Republican Party. That's they ride or die. That's their girl. So whenever she got beat, they got beat too. That's simple. That's simple. What it is.
Wow.
And it doesn't make sense because you won't tell your friend, like on the episode, I'm kind of comparing it to this little tacky ass show. But anyway, like on the show, there's the guy that's running this company that this girl's trying to make, trying to be like in a musical entertainment. He's telling her, look, you can't keep doing this because you're not going to be able to go where you want to go because all you want to do is fight all the time. Right? But and tell your friend that she's wrong. She won't tell her friend she's wrong because at the end of the day, she got a problem. She's going to make sure that she's good. Like, you got somebody in the Republican Party got to sit Donald Trump down and say, look, this shit is crazy. What you're doing doesn't make any sense. You're not acting like a president. You're acting like a Chinese. You get your shit together, or we about to impeach your ass. Nobody's going to do that.
Right.
Nobody's going to do that because they don't want to be in a tweet.
He's acting dumb and being childish.
Exactly. Well,
they don't want to do that, Sonny, because they don't want to have the next morning. They want to have the next morning's Donald Trump tweeting on them saying hashtag sad. In his little voice.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the big thing too is they don't want to look bad, right? This is the thing, and I've said this before. The Republicans they ride or die. They ride or die, for life. And that's the thing is that they will get behind something. It could be burning. It could be on fire. It could be burning down. Their hands could be searing off. But they will keep pushing it along because everybody in their party says, let's do this. And they're like, let's go. Because that's what they do until they get to the next thing and they go, ooh, okay, now we can move on. And they'll leave it behind, I mean, they knew that they had a mess on their hands when they had Bush in office, Bush 2 rather in office. They definitely know they got a complete mess in their hands. A trash of a president with Trump in office. But they're in the situation, and they're going to make the best of it. The one thing they got going for them is they have a president in office that has to semi do what they say, right? And they're like, cool. We got the Senate, we got the House, now we got the presidency. We can get some stuff done the way we want things done. They see the benefit, right? They see the benefit in what they got going on, and they're riding with that. They're looking like, hey, let's look at the positive of it, and let's take this and roll, keep rolling with it. Like you said, there's going to be some things, but they're good strategists too. I can't remember what I was reading. I think it was something on Forbes, and it was talking about Paul Ryan and his situation. Mitch McConnell was guilty of this too, and the fact that they will take this situation and they're going to massage it to make themselves look really good and walk away from this unscathed, no matter what happens.
If Trump actually do get impeached for all this Russian nonsense and all this other stuff that he's been doing, guess what? They come like, bitch, we ain't like this dude in the first place. Like, man, who getting up in here?
Right.
Not this. Like, they gonna move right the hell on and keep doing what they've been doing. But I did crack. I don't know if some of y'all saw some of the memes, the Ben Carson meme and him being in sunken place. Yo, I died.
Yep.
I died on that one. He was. You see him there? He's all clapping, looking stupid and stuff. It was stupid. Like, and then I'm watching it. This is how I felt. I was tweeting. I know for those who were following my tweet, I cracked up because at one point I said we need Blue Ivy to come up in here and tell these motherfuckers to calm down. Y'all clapping every 5 seconds. This president clapping for his own self when he say something. Yeah. They're good. Like, he's telling these families, hey, your kid got killed, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's so sad. We pray for you. Stand up. Like, they in tears. Like, leave them alone. Let the people clap for them, but don't tell these people they are distraught right now. As you talking about what's going on and what happened to their loved ones. Like, it was just, I felt like I was at church, and, the pastor was preaching the preach. And I'm like, yes, you jump up in black churches, y'all excited, y'all clap. I was trying to figure out when the collector plate would come around. Like, jump on the collector plate around. They about to cry. It's about to go down.
Right.
And Republicans have this thing of deflecting on a main issue. Like, we'll bring up a good point. Like, he's flip-flopped so many times on abortion, not abortion, war, not war. Oh, if the president has a government shutdown, that means the president he's a leader. He should be held accountable. He hasn't said nothing about that, but yet the Republican Party was like, well, Obama did this and Obama did that. Like, it's always back to the black guy, right? Always putting the blame on the black guy. I don't understand it.
Yeah, like I said, I think that boils down to him. He never really looked at Obama like how a lot of people don't look at him as their president. He don't think Obama was a legit president. He don't think he was a legit American. Should have became president, and he just don't like Obama. Period.
Right.
So everything Obama, like it was this meme going around, like you know how you don't like a person, everything they do piss you off. It's like that. He don't like him. He can't point out why he don't like this dude. He just don't fucking like him. So everything Obama did, he like that. That nigga ain't shit. Fuck that. Like everything. I think
why doesn't he like Obama? I can't figure out why.
He can't even tell me why. But like that's
keep putting my finger on it.
He keeps making it calling the Affordable Care Act Obamacare because he is not Obamacare. It's the Affordable Care Act. But you just so struck, like you so focused, you hyper focused on this guy. Like between him and Hillary, he just fucking hates them. And he's going to keep
Hillary.
talking
You're right.
about them and Obama. And you know what? I laughed. And here's the thing. This is why I love Trevor Noah. He talked about the Grammy thing, going back to that, and how she read the last thing, and how the Me Too movement and stuff, and how out of touch she is. One of her staffers was complaining about this guy sexually harassing her, and instead of moving the guy, they removed the girl.
Yep,
and
I saw that.
And when they and instead of acknowledging that she was wrong, she was like, I called the girl. Like, she was just dancing around the thing. So at the end of the day, and this is what I need people to understand. Just because we don't like Trump does not mean we automatically like Hillary. People always say, oh, you must have liked Hillary. No. We cannot like her. Like, we don't like neither one. We didn't like neither one of those persons. A lot of people wanted Bernie to go in, but didn't work out the way we wanted.
She was a lesser of two evils.
Right.
Yeah, because like you could have, and that's what I have a problem with that. I find that problematic too because she was the lesser of two evils out of the Democratic and Republican nominee, but there were other nominees on the ballot you could have voted for, and a lot of people think that if they voted for these other people, their vote just didn't count or whatever case may be. No, but you could honestly say that I didn't vote for either one of them because I don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
I voted for so and so. So, or you could do what most people just didn't fucking vote. Don't like that either, but, whatever. Everybody has entitled to what they choose to do for whatever reason they choose to do things. You can't really bash people for doing what they chose to do, whether you voted for Hillary, voted for Trump, voted whatever. I think that for all the people that voted for Trump, I want to know how do you feel right now in this year, in about a month. How do you feel about your president?
Right.
I've seen videos.
Because
I've seen videos. They're sick.
And I will admit, and I will admit that outside of some of this, and this is what I said to somebody at work today. I said some of the stuff, and I hate to admit this, some of the stuff that he wants to do, not the crazy stuff, but like the legitimate stuff that needs to change, I can get with. No, but like some of that how just different things about the attacking the immigration because the immigration tightening it up and stuff like that, getting the border control underway, like certain things like that. Not necessarily saying none of these people can't come in and all that like that, whatever. But some of the things that need to change that he has addressed at some point, whether he actually intends on fixing them is a different thing. But
right.
It's all about presentation and how you do things. Like, you can't say that all Muslims are terrorists. You can't say that all people across the border are rapists, murderers, and killers and stuff like that. You can't do that. You have to.
You can't say
it's a lot of homegrown terrorists that we need to address. So,
right.
The fact
that most of our domestic terrorists are white people. Right?
Yeah, I think we need to get a grasp of that, and I do understand that immigration needs to be fixed because a lot of people they've been working on immigration for years. It's been an issue on how to fix it and how to fix the process and everything like that. I get that, but it's it's more so of what you do, but how you present it. Presentation is everything, and how you do things. You can't just go on rants and say this off comment about a group of people and lapping them all in with a bunch.
Right.
And this is what he does, and then it causes mass panic, and you get people that just be racist as fuck and saying that all Muslims are terrorists, or saying, all black people are just live in low-income areas and quote-unquote shitholes, and their life is just fucked up, and all Mexicans are murderers and killers and rapists and stuff. It's other gangs outside of MS-13. It was, first of all, it was Italian gangs, it was Irish gangs. We're not talking about them. That happened too. It's Bloods, Crips, there's a bunch of different other gangs that are homegrown. So, you need to, how he says things is just, he don't have no tact, no coup, no nothing. He just says whatever the hell he wants to say, and people like it, but it's a fucking KKK is a fucking gang.
Right.
I need you to understand that.
So why was it that they got rid of the Black Panthers? So the FBI, crooked as they are, got rid of the Black Panthers, who were
that's because one of the FBI people was a part of the KKK. A lot of them were KKK members. So
but Black Panthers were out the movement to empower black people to help them out in troubled areas. The KKK are out to get rid of black people. So why are the KKK still around? Why are there 5 people on both sides?
Pure white. They don't want to just get rid of black people. They want to get rid of anybody that is not pure white.
Mm-hmm.
So they can quote unquote make America great again. That's why they follow Trump. And people say that Trump is not a racist. And the way he talks, you can't tell me he's not a racist.
Right. True that. That's my biggest problem with him is he's an obvious racist, and I don't understand how black sexist, right? And I don't understand how black people, women, or anybody else supports him. I just don't understand that. That's my only biggest issue with it is that he's an out and out monster in this world.
I don't see how humans
support him.
No, I don't see how Americans still support him, even though he screwed them over.
Because they want to make America white again, or they believe in a lot of his. I won't go so far as to say everybody supports Trump is a racist, but you have to I'm a big fan of accountability. You have to call a spade a spade. He is a racist. You may like what he's doing for the economy, but that man is a racist, sexist bigot.
Yeah.
He may be doing great for the economy. I'm sure he's helping these people up in the upper management of these businesses a lot of money, and they happy to see him. They raising stocks and everything. They're happy for that. But all this other shit he's doing, y'all just because he's doing that, you could just disregard everything else that he's doing. No, because it's I switch it like this: if Obama came in there and was on some shit like fuck all white people, all these crackers, this and this and the third, and was going on. Fuck all of them. I can guarantee everybody will have something to say.
Impeached in 3 weeks.
Right.
There's no way he could get away with grabbing them by the pussy and just acting like he done lost his goddamn mind.
He would have been in prison.
No. First time Obama got a little brolic and said folks want to pop off, everybody said, oh my God.
Right.
He's black. He really is black.
They were virtually right. They were ducking and running after that.
Yeah, y'all up and over about that. And Michelle Obama said one thing, and all of a sudden she just angry black lady. This man been in here acting like he done lost his goddamn mind from day one.
So Melania can
disrespectful as fuck.
Michelle Obama is in a hot climate area outside, showing her body because she's not doing anything but relaxing. And, oh, my God, how can she dress like that? But you got Melania, who's inside of a plane, dressing half naked, taking pictures.
Right.
I just pray that Melania is safe. I pray that Melania is safe because the way she acts, the way she acted when Trump around, like, you can't, like, that's, I know people in relationships, they've been in relationships, have been married for years, and they just don't be all hugged up and shit. But when they around, it's just weird. Like
yeah.
Like, it just don't look like y'all happy. I don't know. I just like to make sure she's safe.
This is my thing. I think I said this before. Is Melania is in a quandary because she didn't marry this man to become first lady. She married this man to get some money, some clothes, some nice cars, stuff like that. All this being first lady stuff, she didn't sign up for this shit. She signed up to be a trophy wife. She didn't sign up to be out on display, having to be around that man 24/7 the way that they trying to push her to do. She not having that. She like, I didn't sign up for this. You know, she took that plane. She took that Air Force One jet back to Mar-a-Lago while he was still here in D.C. and went on a spa day or whatever. You know, cost the taxpayer $65,000, but you know she didn't care. Her thing is she didn't need. She was stressed out being around him for more than a day and a half. She was stressed out being around that man and his negative energy. And like you said, I don't know if she is safe. I bet he.
Yeah, she an immigrant.
He probably right. For one, she's.
He gonna send her back over.
My personal favorite thing was a comment. They were talking about the State of the Union. They were talking about some key points, and at the end, somebody said, "What about what she's wearing?" And they pointed out like she was wearing. It was off-white, but still, she was wearing a off-white suit, pantsuit, and I guess what was it last year during the
Hillary
inauguration or during some first address that Trump made. All the Democratic women wore that as a protest against Trump. I was cracking up like she doing her. She ain't slick. She got a little clap back for him.
No, but this dude walked in that motherfucker like he was at a boxing match. Calling him and saying, like, that nigga walked out, hugged everybody. Like he just came out with some hood shit.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think the whole thing is just overwhelming for her, and I think she's just like I said, she's just in a place that she didn't plan on being. You know what I mean? She's definitely in over her head. You know, I mean, unfortunately, his daughter's doing better than she is when it comes to dealing with this whole stress of dealing with the political scene. But you know, this is something she's getting thrust into, and she didn't sign up for that. You know, she was trying to be the trophy wife to this rich billionaire, and that's all she wanted. That's all she wanted out of this. She was like, "Oh shoot, now I got to do this first lady thing." She didn't know what to do. So
yeah,
you know, this is
take it from a guy who.
Go ahead.
I said, take it from a guy who has an ex-wife. She's pissed at him. She's ready to kill him right now, but she'll go to jail and die if she could. I think she's plotting something.
Right.
Don't mess with a woman. A woman's scorn is the most dangerous thing. Take one for the team, Melania.
Right. Well,
you know what? But we about to wrap the show, guys. So.
Hey, before we wrap up, we got a couple more minutes. Before we wrap up, I just want to put it out there, and I will post the link. Y'all got to check out this article about these what do they call themselves? No, alt-right people. These
God,
they pretty much low-key KKK. But these alt-right Facebook group, they put it out there that they're going to try to sabotage the Black Panther movie. We can't let that happen. Make sure when y'all see it, if you see an early premiere, if you see it, first day in the theaters, as soon as you see that movie, go out there and vote on it on Rotten Tomatoes. Go on and vote on it on Metacritic. Vote on it whatever other voting sites you can vote on. Let them know that the movie is amazing. I ain't seen it yet, but I know it's the best movie that ever came out yet, and we can't let them. They had
their premiere the night of the State of the Union. They had their premiere thing, and they was dressed to the nines.
Premiere. Yes, they was killing it. Shoot, definitely black royalty.
That black magic was all up and through that place.
Yes. So definitely gotta put a stop to that. I mean, it's not only Black Panther that they're going after. They're pretty much going after any Disney related franchise or Disney related product. our brand, because they also did the Star Wars movie. They're taking responsibility for sabotaging the Rotten Tomato score for the Jedi movie that just came out. They're planning to do the same thing to the Han Solo movie. So, but we gotta protect our own. We gotta protect the Black Panthers. So,
yeah,
this one we gotta do this one for Wakanda.
Yes. Y'all want to give out y'all information as we wrap?
Go ahead, Dan. Give out your information.
Agent D Low on Twitter.
All right, Willie.
All right. Yeah, this your boy Willie Styles. Thanks again for listening in, and hopefully you listen in on our streaming as well. And you can get at me at Willie Styles everywhere. That's STYLEZ. I'm at Willie Styles on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm Willie.Styles on Snapchat, WillieStyles.info for all my information on my website. Holla.
And, of course, it's your girl, _D on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Check out my blog, unreservedlyme.com. And I don't know. Yeah, do that. Definitely check out our website, gstradioshow.com, especially this month. We going in Black History Month, and, we just got random stuff on there outside of shows, so definitely check it out, random quotes and things like that. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at GST_radio. Get over to Teespring, get y'all some merchandise, teespring.com/stores/GST Radio. Check out our Facebook page, like it, YouTube, iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud. What else am I forgetting? Look us out on Tumblr. We're everywhere. Just go to Google, type in GST Radio, and you'll find us. Like everything, follow everything, subscribe, do all that shit.
Yes. Don't forget to get the merchandise. We're on Teespring.
Yes.
See you in
hope
7.
You guys have a great night. You said what?
See you in 7.
Oh, he said see you at 7. Bye.
Yeah, shout out to Clint. We miss you. We miss you, bro.
yes. That was a big one today. Could not be on the show, so that's why y'all ain't hear him. But I'm pretty sure he would have had some definitely feedback about what we were talking about tonight. But join us next week. We'll definitely share some more Black history with you guys throughout the month of February. And definitely call in, guys. Thank you for listening tonight.
Yes, thank you for joining us, and we'll catch y'all next
Black
week.
Power!
Bye, guys. Damon is crazy. Thank you, Damon, for calling in.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.